everybody. It's the bro. How you doing today? It is a fine day to do the show. I'm super stoked that you folks could all join me. How are you all doing here today? March 8th, 2023. Thanks for joining me, the Brody, here for another edition of the morning show. Let's check out, make sure the stream and everything's working just fine. Gonna bring the audio levels up to where they need to be. That's looking good right there. Morning, folks. It's Brody. Volume super low, music plenty loud. We're doing well. Still putting his hat on properly here this morning. I know, right? No giggities in the chat, folks. No, it's fine. Put as many giggities in there as you like. It's March 8th, 2023. Thanks, folks, for joining me. This is the Bro. It's the best darn Magic the Gathering morning show in the world. Nigh the universe, nigh all planes out there. Hoping to have you back, just like Michael Superbacker. Thanks for joining. Michael Superbacker, Titantia Man, MTG Gaming Bob's in the house, Twiddler's Place. Thanks to you folks for all joining on the channel. I want to give a special shout out to Travis Meyer here this morning. Thanks for joining the stream. Glad to have you on board. Appreciate the comments. All 1 to 8, 1 to 8, beard, cowboy hat 10. Keep me updated on the cardboard. I'm happy to do it for you. Have you been out there? Have you been tracking the prices of Magic cards? Well, let me do it for you. If you think there's just enough information, or maybe there's too much information, let me know. Turn your volume up, Brody. How's the volume? Did we get it? Any better? How about now? The web microphone, it's up now. Should be up. Hope that's a little better. Michael Superbacker with the breakfast emojis. We got coffee on. We're going to run a little morning Magic the Gathering stocks, and we're going to have some talks here with you folks, the amazing fans of Magic the Gathering who love the game as much as we do. A little loud now. Okay, a little up, little down. Let's just back it off just a touch. Right there. How about there? How about, oh, that's the number right there. That might be the number right there we want. Good. He's about to fall off the table. That's right. Let's fix this up here. This no time to waste. I know your time is valuable. It's precious. It's precious, I know. So I thank you, each and every one of you amazing fans of Magic the Gathering, for joining me here this morning. Brody, for a little coffee, a little bit of Magic stock, and some Magic talks. We do it every single morning, Monday to Friday. I get confused when I look at these charts. They go up and down. They do funny stuff. Not only are they unreliable, there's kind of bad information out there. There's all kinds of information out there. I don't know if I can make sense of it all the time. But with a little help from my friends, you folks, I get by and we do the show. We take a critical look at Magic cards. We're going to do a few things here to warm up this morning. Why don't we just take a look at a couple of AI generated Magic cards? Let's have a little fun. People in the chat, getting people interested here this morning. Music's a little loud, Brody. All right, let's check it out. You know how it works? We'll go over the rules again here, folks, just so everybody remembers. We're going to rate some AI generated Magic cards. If it's playable at all, we're going to give it a pass. But if there's any gibberish on the card whatsoever, we fail it right now. Get it out of here. Okay, that's the way this is going to work here this morning. Let's take a look at this first one here. Oh my gosh, we're not starting very well. At least we can read it. Here we go. You want me to zoom in, full? Yeah, I should probably zoom in here, right? What do you think? Can you even, folks, even read this one? Ah, that's cute. What does it say? Bell, if it's Breathamise, he only a single armor ungiven to stand. A 2/1 for a red and one. I got to give this a pass. I can't not. There's nothing wrong with this card. It's a little strange in the mana cost, but I mean, it's definitely a hit. 10 people in the chat. Let me know. Are you guys, would you be willing to part with your Magic the Gathering cards? Ah, no way, no way. I know which button I'm pushing. There's no way I'm pushing that button. Yeah, this seems like a 2/1. It seems just fine. Let's get the chat running here this morning. Let's give it a pass. It's pretty straightforward, right? It's just hard to read. Just a little hard to read. Let's give it a pass. That's fine. I think we just call it Bell for short. Bell, if it's Breathamise, he only a single armor given to stand. All right, let's do another one. Okay, how would you rate this? This is fair. I'll give it a fair. We're gonna give it a fair here this morning. It's totally fair. Nothing wrong with that card. That's literally a Magic card. Waiting for waiting for a game to happen. Island. Ooh, some of these art cards are actually pretty darn good. This one looks nice. It's like a floating island. Ah, take me there. Take me there. I wonder. I wonder if we could live on that little treehouse that's up there. That looks like a pretty nice place. Uh yeah, we could give this a pass. Nothing wrong with this, right? What do you think, folks? I'll give that a pass for sure. We're warming up here this morning to get a little bit of AI generation in our life here. Have you guys seen some of this stuff? The deep fakes. Let the deep fakes begin, right? Look out. Okay, I got to look closely at this one. Oh my gosh. Let's look at this rhino mutant. Cool. Return to care are best loyal to the courtyard. One black and two, we get this guy. Rhino creature mutant. This looks like an Eldraine card. Whenever return to care, our best loyalty of the courtyard attacks, you may pay 2. If you do, gain 5 life. Oh, that's so good. It's a 1/1 for 3 with a 2 mana ability that gains you 5 life whenever it attacks. Don't say this demands at it, friend. Don't say this demands at it, friends. Divert every care of a destruct to mechanical rust. And important than the short cat empty meal. It's the gibberish. We love the gibberish in the flavor text. Can't help it. Okay, it's not so bad. This is a cool card. I gotta give this a pass. Gaming Bob, what'd you think? Travis Meyer, what you think? Could we give this a pass? I think we could give it a pass. It seems just fine to me. All right, what else do we got here for you folks? Uh, let's make sure that the name is not so great. I know, but it's cute. It's a rhino. I'm pretty stoked. I want to build some rhino decks. Well, how do you rate this one? Return to care our best loyal Korcha. I think it's fair. Let's give it a fair ski. Fair ski, care ski with beware ski. All right, folks, let's check it out. Next one. Let's do another one. We're warming up here with a little AI generated magic. I got my first sip of coffee. Let's just take a minute. I haven't even taken a minute to arrive on the show with you folks, and that's okay to do sometimes. Is it a busy day? You guys got to be somewhere. You got high demands. Is there stress on your shoulders? Some days it might feel like the weight of the world is standing on you, but that's when I gotta remember to tie my shoe or go for a walk or just take a look around the block. Maybe just have a sip of coffee, and that's okay too, every once in a while. What do we got here? As wend in the world. As wend in the world. It's like, where'd you go to the bathroom? As wend in the woods? As wend in the world. Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, create a token that's a copy of Aswend in the world. Except it doesn't do much except make copies of itself. Now, this seems actually kind of dorky, but let's just, I mean, I think we need some Benson tech on this one. If you could, let's say, combine this with an artifact animation engine like Titania's song, or no, maybe that because it loses its abilities, but let's combine with this March of the Machines, then this could be a magic card. It's kind of interesting because it doesn't really do much for you. It would give you affinity. It would turn on affinity like a mofo. Like, that's okay. All things considered, I think we got to give this a pass. Investigatory. It seems okay, right? Not too bad. Let's give it a ding. Double dinger this morning for this one. It's a beauty. Let's rate it. Some people say okay. I bet you some people say unplayable. I say it's fair. Some people say OP. 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 Marker Peter. Marker Peter came by yesterday. Are you willing to give up your reserve list, Marker Peter? No. He's definitely he's standing down. Marker Peter is he's not standing down. He's like, I'm not giving up my reserve list, Brody. He's taking aim. Holy smokes! Look out for Marker Peter. This guy. Maybe I'll just plug the rifle. I don't know. I'll stick my finger in the end of the rifle here. Poor Marker Peter. There's not much he can do. Sorry, buds. There. Stuck my finger in the muzzle. Marker Peter's a 1 red and 2 mana creature. I think we failed him yesterday. He might be disgruntled. You got to pay a white and 2 and tap it. S, create X, 1, 2 counters. No. Get it out of here. Oh. I wouldn't have guessed it if we were going to go through the whole episode without getting to hit the buzzer, right? That would be a shame. I can't just leave with everything getting a pass. That's not cool. Like, come on. Well, I appreciate you folks for joining me. I'm going to check the stock desk to see if we got any new articles in the world of Magic the Gathering, something we can sink our teeth in, because that's just a good way to spend the morning. Check the stock desk for news articles, and then we are going to do the movers and the shakers, which leaves me to wonder, where's Tom Mitchell? Tom Mitchell, are you out there? And if so, have you heard of the bannings on expressive iteration? How does that make you feel? Is it okay that we have some bannings? I myself, I can't stand bannings. I hate it when they happen. It's just like, I gotta have a sip of coffee. Not bad, not bad. Where have you got Brody here this morning? Have you got me in the car? Have you got me on the dash where you're making coffee? Is it snowy where you are? I like to think that you folks are dragging me along for the ride each and every morning, and I appreciate you for spending a little bit of time here this morning. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of news. We talked about Shining Shoal and a few other cards. Well, that's fine. What do you guys want to do for movers and shakers here this morning? Do you want to we had a little bit of a glitch on Monday. The internet was down in the morning. The stream was kind of fribbing out. Then we pushed modern to Tuesday. Here we are Wednesday. Pioneer, I guess. Pioneer. How does that sound? Anybody want to see Pioneer? Nobody wants to do fodder shrapnel, Brody. Both cards banned recently are manageable, especially one of them being a creature. Removal is a dime a dozen. Yeah, it's card selection. Ban cards that take advantage. Benson says ban the cards that take advantage of a meta and timing issues in the game, such as Cart Clan Ironworks. And both of the cards banned recently are manageable cards, especially one of them being a creature. Yeah, the White Plume Adventurer I kind of see as unnecessarily banning it. It doesn't, yeah, I don't know. Good morning, Anger Collections is here. Folks, good morning. Great that you're here joining us this morning, Anger. I love it when the investors stop by because it lets me know Brody's got the show and you folks are tuning in for a little bit of pumpkin pie and stocks, right? Let's take a look. We're gonna run Anger. We're gonna look at Pioneer this morning. How's that sound? Everybody okay with that? Let me know if you want to run the Pioneer list. We took a sneak peek at Legacy yesterday, but I usually leave that for Thursdays because it's a little more exciting as we get in closer to the weekend. If you guys folks got plans for the weekend, we're going to be doing a draft. Recent bannings. Yeah, that poor White Plume. Poor White Plume. Can't seem to catch a break. Nevertheless, let's see if I can. We'll check back a little later at the stock desk. How about this? Movers and the shakers this morning. We're going to look at the list. Do you like tracking these prices? I do it every morning. I can't wait. I get up each and every morning. I'm like, what is going on in the world of Magic? Did somebody buy something out? Is there deals? What's moving? What's shaking? And what cards do I need to get my hands on before they go up or as they're coming back down? And what's prime to put into the buy list? Speaking of Prime 406 Games, good morning. Indomitable Creativity at the top of the list again? Wow. See, there was another card that was similar to this one. I liked it. It was, I got it in the buy list box, actually. It's around here somewhere. It's 2 red and Electro Dominance. See, I always get those two confused because they look similar, right? I think they're also from, well, let's check and see. Where's Electro Dominance from? Let's take a look. Indomitable Creativity is $32 here this morning. It's up 8%. Electro Dominance. I always confuse the two. Ravnica Allegiance. Oh, from Ravnica, right? So they look, Electro Dominance is 2 red and X, deals X damage to any target. You may cast a spell with converted mana cost X or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. And then this one, destroy X artifacts or creatures. For each permanent destroyed this way, its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until an artifact or creature card is revealed and exiles that card. Those players put the exiled cards onto the battlefield and shuffle their libraries. This card seems good because as more powerful creatures get printed, there's just going to be newer and better targets that arrive. Now, I think the last, well, how is it, like the Electro Dominus is good because it's instant speed, and then you get to cast it from your hand without paying its mana cost. I don't know why this one's $2.70, and it's instant speed, right? It's 2 red and X, and you get to cast it from your hand without paying its mana cost. But then this one is like so much better, right? Because it flips it off the top of your library, and then yeah, it destroy X target artifacts and or creatures for each. It destroys target creatures, so you get to blow your opponent's stuff up. That's definitely better. Definitely better, Brody. All right. So we kind of get it. We get why that thing's like so darn good. Wait, there's pumpkin pie? You bet there's pumpkin pie. Make sure the chat's working here this morning. Where's the chat? Where's the darn chat? All right. So dominable creativity. We might have to fix that. I like to chat with you folks. I can't do the show without the chat, right? It's so much better with the chat. Let's check it out. Electro Dominance. All right. Deck's using it. It's taking another pop up in price. We'll get to the chat here in a second. But yeah, I'm going to get the chat working. Holy smokes, a flag. Flag on the play. Brody says flag, 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 flag. Let's see here. So usually we give ourselves a stock term, and this is another beauty. Remember we were talking about flags just the other day. That was a pattern that we discussed here on the show. So like, let's look at what we have here. We got Brody just wants to put lines on charts, right? So we got this happening here. Let's zoom in. All right, let's clear the slate. So we got these flags, right? It's going up here. This is like the third flag. Now I'm not excited because I'm like there's an opportunity here. I'm just excited because like I get to draw this flag picture. But check it out. Okay, so just bump it along here, nothing special. And then it runs along, and then we have like this pattern that makes this like pennant shape, right? Like a wedge. And then it does it again a second time right here. So like it goes up, it makes this pennant shape, comes back down. And then like if you remember, if you're here when we were discussing these pennants or these flags, like there's a second one, and it's usually like the third one. They usually happen in threes. Now I wouldn't be surprised if this one here wasn't finished. Like it could go more. You know, it could usually outperforms the last three. But if you think you're gonna jump in on this flag here, it's like the risky one. That's the one where like sometimes there's two like this in the stock market, or even in crypto or magic cards. Sometimes there's two, and people like, hey, there's a flag pattern forming, I'm gonna get in on the next one. And then they end up holding it super long, like it doesn't pop for a long time, and then all of a sudden you're like super long on Dogecoin, and there's like nothing you can do, right? You're just waiting for the next flag, and it never happens. So this is a bullish sign, these like flag patterns here. But keep in mind, it's also a risky signal, right? And it's hard to call it after one flag because you're like, is it a flag pattern? The second one's like the confirmation, right? And then the third one is the one that makes you money or makes you broke. So why do they call them stockbrokers? Because they make you broker, Brody. That's what they do. Don't let anybody talk you out of your hard-earned money. Make your own decisions. Make good ones. Learn to read the charts. I want you here sharpening your spoon each and every morning, learning a little bit each and every day with me, because I know I learn something each and every day from you folks when you tune in on the channel. I got to get Benson's coming over. Sweet. We're having a birthday party. We're doing draft. So you are welcome to just stop on by. Okay, modern is Indomitable Creativity. Deck's using it. What do we got? Modern. Modern is cool. I like the modern. Teamer, Indomitable Creativity. See, there was a time when like modern was the driving force of Magic, and it's like it still is in paper format at Magic conventions and standard primarily, but like modern was moving the format, and now it's like the hype train is all on this toxic giggity, this toxic uh commander commander reprint policy. There isn't a standard set that's released, I don't think, without a commander card in it. I could be wrong though, but creativity's playing it. What's the latest target? So I'm thinking like this creativity deck is going to be around for a long time. It might just be splashing Omnath. It's a bunch of colors. You got a Ren and 6. It's 4 colors. So you got the Ren and 6. The creature target is Archon of Cruelty. And then as soon as something figures out how to deal with how people feel like there's a better target, excuse me, once people discover if there's a better target than Archon of Cruelty, then Archon will change, the shell will slowly rotate, and then Indomitable Creativity will stay. The shell will stay the same. And that's generally what happens in Magic the Gathering. If you're new to Magic and you want to know what a shell is a pretty interesting term. People are like, oh, it's the this shell or the that shell. A shell is like a deck archetype. It's just another fancy name for a deck archetype. And I'll give you an example. Like this Indomitable Creativity could be a shell, and then like the changeable cards in it, the only cards, the game winning pieces like the Archon and the Ren and 6, those might get rotated out, but the rest stays the same. You just change like the meat and potatoes or the pearl out of the shell. So if you're new to Magic, that's another term for you folks, a shell. You hear it in a lot of times, like affinity. If you've ever heard of the artifact affinity deck, then we got like hardened scales, and there's like variations of a certain deck. I think we're going to see the Indomitable Creativity shell for quite some time, especially in Pioneer and in Modern, because it's winning games, right? Let's take a look over at, I just want to take a look over at MTG Top 8, because this is like where we tie it all together, right? Let's look at Pioneer, let's look at any major tournaments, and let's see. Pro Tour Phyrexia finished up, was the last major event, and we got Abdominal Creativity by Reed Duke. So we talked about that right after it happened. We looked at the winning trophy that Reed did, because he did so well with this deck. Really cool. But as you can see, that's really pushing that price of the Indomitable Creativity still. Once this so if you don't follow the gameplay, and if you follow the show, we're covering it here, so you can catch it. You can catch it a little bit early. But once the tournament ends, these stats don't show up on Top 8 until like a few days later, or at least sometimes a week or more. So once major events start hitting this Top 8, auras is another one. Let's see the auras. Okay, and then I'm surprised we're not seeing, Fires of Invention is in there, and I'm not sure if in the Pioneer meta we have the initiative deck in there. Nor nevertheless, Terror of the Peaks, Pinky Boy, Peekaboo, terror's here. Peekaboo, here's some terror. Oh my god. Not funny. Okay. Peaky Boy, $37. Is this the one that makes treasure? Let's see here. It's pretty good. Pair of the Peaks costs 5. It's 2 red and 3. I like this card. Spells your opponent's control that target Terror of the Peaks cost an additional 3 life to cast. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. Oh my gosh. So he just like breathes fire for whatever the power is of anything you put onto the battlefield. Seems fine, right? Got to be played in dragons. It's dragony, $37. Is it a commander? It's got it. Yeah, the Dragon plays it. Kalia the Vast. All the commander decks are playing it. Can we get it from the vendors? Probably. We got 3 copies available for $30. Myself, I feel like Pioneer is like the new. It's a new format. It's good, but it's like the new modern. It's like generation Y of modern, right? If you think of modern as Gen X, legacy and vintage as a boomer format. You got modern as Gen X. Pioneer, I guess, would be Gen Y, and then like standard is a millennial format. I don't know of Magic. Trying to just draw some parallels here and have a little fun. Played in all kinds of dragon decks. I don't have it. I maybe wait for a reprint on this one. It seems expensive. $37. M21. There's probably M21 out there. I think I have some M21 boosters. I got a couple of boosters left from M21, so that's not a bad thing. What else we got here? Sorin, Imperialist Bloodlord. I like the 3-mana Sorin. I was actually kind of hope for a little more out of this one. Let's see. Sorin, the Imperialist Bloodlord. Excuse me. Legendary Planeswalker Sorin. He gets a +1. Target creature you control gets Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. If it's a vampire, put a 1/1 counter on it. You may sacrifice a vampire. When you do, Sorin, Imperialist Bloodlord deals 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. So, that's pretty good for a +1. If you can make the vampire tokens like the little bats, right? It seems fine. Like I would play it. It's the 3-mana Planeswalker. You can turn 1 it if you Dark Ritual, but I don't know if you're playing it there. -3, you put a vampire creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. That's so cool. So you can get your big vampire lords out very quickly. I think Sorin, not sorry, no Sorin. All right, just check him out. Price wise, Sorin is kind of expensive. It's coming in at like showing on the charts here at $20, but like I don't always trust these charts. I'm looking for like peaks, valleys, wedges, flags, spikes, anomalies, pit traps, uh breath stealers, crypts, anything that may give me an indication that this card is like unstable or has interest. This card has like little to no interest, I think. It's not Edgar Markov. Oh yes, the vampire deck. Oh, vampire deck. Stefan Marauder Marauder Progenitor. Marur. Marur. Stefan Marur Progenitor. Sacre Bleu. And Jacques Cousteau. Edgar Charmed Groom. Edgar. Let's look at an Edgar deck. All the Edgar decks. And then the Olivia Voldaren. Real vampires. Real vampires. Edgar the Charmed Groom. So this is a vampire noble. Other vampires get 1/1. When Edgar Charmgroom dies, return to the battlefield, transform. So you want the sucker to die. At the beginning of your upkeep, you get a 1/1 white and black vampire creature token with lifelink and put a bloodline counter into the Margaret's Calvin. I thought Edgar Markov, like the Edgar Markov guy, was banned. I thought he was banned. I thought people hated him. The Eminence trigger was too good. Commander legal? Is he legal? Whenever you cast another vampire spell, if he's in the command zone, you get a 1/1 vampire. First strike and haste. So you can stack these little vampire tokens to the Sorin Imperious Bloodlord, and then you can do damage. So this is like an easy include in a vampire deck. I'm not there yet, building vampires quite yet. I'm still mucking around with zombies, and I like zombies. They kind of I like zombies because some people don't like zombies. They creep them up, creepy. Only in Magic. All right, let's go with it. Ulamog. This is a 10 mana Ulamog, making its way on the list of $41.71. Cool card. And I know I come on the show here every morning and I talk about these Magic cards and I hype them up, right? I totally hype them up. But like, I got to tell you, I don't own this Ulamog. I don't have this one. I mean, I'd like to have it, but it's expensive. It's 41 bucks. I would wait to open it. I would try to open it. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't rush into every 40, 30, $60 Vorinclex and Ulamog that I see, even though they're good, or creativity at $30. Like, I will try to open stuff. I will. Hello, Mr. Dualbrain. Is Mr. Dualbrain in the house? Sending my love your way, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Good morning. We're all thinking of you. Hi, guys. I got to read Ed's comment. It's nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. We're all getting through the movers and the shakers list here this morning. We're talking about Ulamog, a card that I don't have. I don't have the Ulamog. I would try to like reserve giggity. I would like to reserve like opening some of those powerful cards. I got to find the figure. I got to get the chat up here. Say good morning to my friends. Thanks for the support. I want to put. I'm going to put something in the chat for everybody just to take a look at. Well, on your own time, it's fine. I'm just going to put a link up there. Give me just a second here. I'm going to put a link in the comment section below. There's something going on out there. I'm not going to say too much, but if you folks feel like you want to check something out for some friends and do something, I know I was able to send something over there to give a hand to some folks that need a little love and support. And we're happy to do that. So I put a link in the comment section if you guys want to check that out. If you can, great. If not, just comments are good too. It helps warm people's hearts. And sometimes, we get through. We get through together. So I'm not going to say too much more of that because I might start to cry. So, which is okay too. Sometimes I go for a good cry. It happens. We're just going through the movers and the shakers list here. So there's a GoFundMe happening over there for some friends and family. And if you want to read about it, check it out. There's also a video I can post for you folks to take a look at, to Mr. Feldy put together. So for all the friends and family joining us this morning, we're talking Magic cards. We're running the movers and the shakers list. We're looking at Ulamog, the secret hunger. It's like, what's your secret hunger, Ulamog? I am secretly like donuts, but I'm not supposed to eat them. No, Ulamog, the ceaseless hunger. I don't have an Ulamog myself. But I would try to open it when Double Masters come out. I was pretty stoked because it was like a good. If I didn't open the Zendikar stuff, like the early Zendikar, so getting the Eldrazi was like a creature type that I missed out on. And when I started discovering Eldrazi again for the first time, I was like, holy smokes, where are all these Annihilator and these 10-10s and 9-9s and 8-8s and 15-15s and all these amazing Eldrazi creatures. So this is Battle for Zendikar. It'll probably see a reprint. It's in Pioneer. It's a big card. Where are we playing it? Let's read it. 10 mana. So you got to ramp this out. You need to ramp into this, right? Mythic rare. It's a good mythic. I like the sets. Like I did like Double Masters. Looking back, like we got to fire a Double Masters draft, so that was pretty cool. Um, I was excited because I hit a Kozilek. Okay, so if you don't want to pay the $41, I love it when we see Eldrazi like this get a reprint because it's just gasoline and matches all together. Mono green Trons playing Ulimog. A finisher. We got to read it. 10 mana for the 10-10. When you cast Ulamog, exile 2 permanents. It's got indestructible. And when Ulamog attacks, defending player exiles the top 20 cards of his or her library. It's like a couple of swings. Usually it's 2 swings because Battle for Gandagar was garbage. Only good card in this set was Ulamog. Okay, I'm glad I didn't miss out. I'm glad I didn't miss out then, Benson. Thank you for comforting me. I'm 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 glad I didn't miss out much, you know. Sometimes it feels good to now this is a funny thing like with skipping sets. Like it sucks when you miss out on a set that has good cards in it and you're like, "Oh, if I had only opened like a couple of packs or a couple of boxes of Mercadian Mass, I'd have way more like sweet stuff." But like it doesn't like sometimes skipping sets is like the best thing you can do by singles, right? So Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunter, it's played in mono green Tron as a finisher. I thought it was played, yeah, I guess I thought it was played in just Tron, but Kozilek the Great, Distortion, and Commander, Eldrazi Tron. There's the one that I was thinking about. Eldrazi Tron. Monogretron playing it too, and Cloud Post. I want to see the. Okay, that's Legacy. Ooh, yes, Legacy. So, disclaimer, and a Big Lion Tamer. Brody does play posts in Legacy. I'm still like almost finishing it. I need a couple copies of Vesuva, so I should actually check the price of Vesuva. Actually, I'm putting Vesuva on the list right now. Oh my gosh, there's just so much going on the list of things to pick up. I've got Earthcraft, Power Leech, Phyrexian Infiltrator, Broker's Ascendancy, Packs of Tempest, Ruck, Hex Gold Nabber, and I'm going to be adding. I got to get the Vesuva on there. This is Brody's wish list. And it's funny because, like, the list will just keep growing. It'll just keep growing. Because it's funny, like, you take your eye off these cards for a minute, and next thing you know, they do something. So let's look at the mono green cloud post decks. I'm kind of interested because I think this is cool that you can play posts. It's not Pioneer though. I just want to see how many Vesuvas. There are only two Vesuvas. It's also in Time Spiral and on the list, so I still got a chance to open it. That's why I'm not prioritizing it as something I'm buying. I would like to see if I think I'm a target acquired for the buy list. I think I got it. I also have to add Feldigrift to the list. Darn Feldigrift. Couldn't find one here yesterday. Resplendent Angel. Here's a card that keeps going up. I got one of these in the buy list box. It's $43. A mythic rare from M19. This one's played in Angels, and it's really good. I'm fearful of a reprint, so I'm probably going to ditch mine. I 3-3. I know they say they're not going back to core sets, but some way, shape, or form, this Resplendent Angel's got to get a reprint. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain 5 or more life this turn, Create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. Do you know what card this combos with? Not you, Marker Peter. Not you, Asswind of the Worlds. Not, but this guy. Return to care, our best loyal of the courtyard. Whenever you return to care, our best loyal of the courtyard attacks, you may pay 2 if you do gain five life. Pretty cool that a card on the movers and the shakers combos with one of the AI cards we looked at this morning. So if you gain 5 life, if you attack with that guy, you get an angel creature token with flying and vigilance, and then you pay 3 and 3. 3 white and 3 until end of turn. Resplendent Angel gets 2/2 and gains Laifu Linku until end Waifu Laifu Linku until end of turn. Gotta come up with your own pet terms for the game. Make it fun and interesting. Here's a interesting couple of wedges here, right? Some wedges? Dust my eyes to see me. Let's get the dust out of our eyes here, Brody. What do we got? We got the wedges. This looks wedgy. I don't know. Does it look wedgy? We were talking about wedges just the other day. Rising wedges and falling wedges. This chart seems like it's going to keep making these patterns, right? It's got like this deep belly dump, sort of a sagging pattern that goes like this, and then like a tick up, and then we got this wedge pattern that we see right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Then there's like this wedge shape right here, and then it does this like bullish belly dump pattern here again too. Like history don't repeat, but it sure does rhyme, and sometimes you catch this happening over and over again. And it's like I look at the why do I look at the movers and the shakers? Like, why do I care what the price is doing today, Brody? It's like I want to look back to see if it's like doing the same thing over and over again. So you got like this wedge pattern. Takes a little bump up, and then it's got this like belly dump. Well, now it's starting to flatten out. This is the last time it's seen a leg up in price, and now we got another wedge here, right? Wedgemite. She gave me a Wedgemite sandwich. Welcome to the land down under. Whoa, women and men thunder. Can you see the magic cards? I wonder. Welcome to the land down under. So we're probably, yeah, it looks pretty aggressive, right? Like the distance between these belly patterns is getting closer and closer together. The wedge is getting a little bit more pronounced. I think this card, it's like prime for a reprint right here, like somewhere around here. If Wizards decide like this is just getting up to like the $60-$70, maybe it's too much. Reprint could knock it down. The OG will probably last. If you, I love Stefan the Cosmic Seeds original foils, Brody. Hold on to them. Okay, so we got let's get my epic pen here.
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto.
Oh.
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto. I may just quit my job at the power plant and become a full-time stock market guy.
I'm gonna grab myself a little sip of coffee. Thanks, Homer. Serving up another coffee here at the stock desk this morning. Have no fear, Brody's here. It's Selesnya Angels. Thanks for you folks for joining me. If you like tracking the prices of Magic cards, if you do it anyway, or is it something you don't like doing? Let me do it for you. I'll be here every day, Monday through Friday, tracking the prices. We're looking at the Pioneer list here with the folks, the fans, the people who check this list each and every day. Sword of the Animist from Origins. This one's up 8%. Hmm. I gotta ask, do you guys like music on the stream? I'm just gonna check the polls here. How many of you folks? Ooh, some people will be selling their cards to Rudy. Yes, absolutely. I love the polls. I love the polls. I'm gonna start one more poll for you folks. I kind of want to know. Let you folks weigh in. Gonna add one option here. Kind of would like to know, do you guys prefer music on the streams? I sometimes do, but I don't know how many people don't. So I guess it depends what it is, right? Resplendent Angels, Sword of the Animus. Let's look at this card from Origins. It's a card. It's 2 mana. It's an equipment. It's legendary. It gives a crypt creature +1/+1. It's $11.79. I haven't looked at this card in a while. Of course, I never opened Origins. Where else is it printed? Theros Beyond Death as a promo, mystery boosters, and in the Arch Enemy Nicol Bolas dual deck. Oh no, Arch Enemy with Nicol Bolas. That's the Arch Enemy, I think. Commander 2017, excuse me. Yeah, excuse me, Commander 2017. Oh my goodness. $11.79 for this sucker. Whenever a creature attacks, you may search your library for a basic land and put it on the battlefield. Holy smokes. That tap then shuffle. That's really good. Commander? Can we say Commander? Yeah, it's a good Commander card. That's a really good card. I need this. It'd be nice to be able to move it around or put it on an unblockable creature. Isn't two heads heavens as one? Mardu? Let's see. If a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that triggered ability triggers an additional time. Trigger! Holy smokes. That's a good one. So you get double triggers of the 115 Cody deck? Not sure why it's called that. Maybe it's 115 cards. It's a ham sandwich. Let's check it out. Don't sell it, Rudy. Oh, is Mr. DJ Longhair in the house? Mr. DJ Longhair. How you doing, DJ? Glad to have you here. Rudy is Anthony Scaramucci of MTG Investing and Financing. I have to look that up. Now I got homework. Thank you, Benson. Thank you for the homework. I will definitely be looking that up. Good morning, DJ Longhair. I got to say good morning to you, my friend. Thanks again. Today is Thursday. Is today Thursday? Wednesday. That's right. The roundtable's tomorrow night. If you guys haven't been there yet, I suggest checking it out. It's the most inclusive, most roundtable-y, most epic multi-stream Magic the Gathering stream on the internet. It's a fun time. You might catch me over there on Thursdays at 7. Thanks again for having me on each and every time, Mr. DJ Longhair. Appreciate having you here this morning. Is it cold out there? I have a feeling we're in for a really, really cold day. -20 yesterday. So I mean, I'm cool to hang with you folks this morning and talk Magic cards. It's just totally cool by me. I'm okay with that. So thanks for joining, DJ. Pleased to have you on the stream here this morning. We're taking a look at the movers and the shakers. We're running down. I'm sort of wondering, do you folks like music on the stream? I can turn some on. I can come up with some new stuff. Movers and the shakers. We always like to see a Polyraptor on here. Now, I like this. It's a 5/5. Okay, why do I like the Polyraptor? Well, Polyraptor is a pretty good card because it's a dinosaur. And I think I'm having second thoughts about any of the dinosaurs going in my buy list box because I got a notion that we're going to be getting like vampire and dinosaur tribal coming up in a new set. So some of these dinosaurs that like the ones that don't get a reprint, like say you got like Gisha, Sun's Avatar, and then you've got Zakama, the Primal Calamity, you got this Polyraptor, and any of the enraged dinosaurs. Here's another thing, like on Brody's bottom 10 reserve list card. Look at this. Like I've talked about this, and if you haven't checked out the bottom 10, there's a new one coming for the month of March. But like, there's a card on the bottom 10 that works good with this Polyraptor. It's this enrage mechanic. I think it's undervalued. I think it's undersold. There's like dinos are going to get really good here. I think we're going to get really good dino support. Ixalan was like, it was a hit. It wasn't at the time, but like, it just it needs a follow-up set. That's kind of what I'm saying. It was a hit in that a really good follow-up set to dinosaurs and vampires will really push some of these cards over the top. And I'm talking about Sorrow's Path. So this says Enrage. If you're new to Magic and you don't know what the Enrage mechanic is, this is the one that's on many dinosaurs. When they take damage, there's a series of them. There's the Sun Crowned Hunters, there's Polyraptor, and there's a bunch of other dinosaurs. When they take damage, you get a trigger of some kind. With this one, it's a 5/5, and then whenever it's dealt damage, you get a token that's a copy of Polyraptor. So, like, this Sorrow's Path is a card on the like when if you're like me, so like we're talking about we're talking about like legacy and vintage as like the geriatric they're the boomer formats, right? And then modern is more like the Gen X format. You got Pioneer and as Generation Y. Standard is like the millennial format. But when you remember cards like this, Sorrow's Path, and I literally can remember reading, and I shouldn't say literally because it when people say literally, it sounds so made up. But I I remember reading about Sorrow's Path, and something that always made me interested in Magic the Gathering is people always talk about what's the best card in the game of Magic the Gathering, and it's like this that card's always worth money, right? We know the Black Lotus is like the most powerful card, right? You know, it still is. It's like one of the best cards. Soul Ring, and then that was the argument: is it Soul Ring or Black Lotus? And there's a lot of people that would vote Soul Ring. There's a ton of people there that think Soul Ring is way more power than Black Lotus, and rightfully so, because like a turn one Soul Ring gets you 2, on turn 2 Soul Rings making you another 2, so that's like 4 mana net, which is more than a black. Oh, it's even, right? On turn 2, it's even with net mana into it. But then a turn 3 and 4 is sort of when the Soul Ring tends to shine, right? So if you're gonna have the argument about what's the best card in Magic, there's always the counterpart of that. What's the worst card in Magic? And this card, Sorrow's Path, was named the worst card in Magic many years over. And it's like it does this. It says you choose 2 target blocking creatures an opponent controls. Each of those creatures could block. So you attack your opponent, and you have this Sorrow's Path, and you have dinosaurs, right? Now, if each of those creatures could block all creatures that the other is it's just wordy. It's like word salad. Long story short, you get to reorder blockers. It has this other part on it that says when it becomes tapped, it deals 2 damage to you and each creature you control. And that's the part that I like. So a card like this, when I see raptors and rage polyraptors being printed, and it says whenever polyraptors dealt damage, you get to put a token that's a copy of it onto the battlefield. Well, holy smokes, this card like Sorrow's Path becomes really, really good. You can use other cards like Yawgmoth or the Yavimaya Cradle, the one that makes all lands forests, and then all of a sudden the Sorrow's Path taps for mana, and then it pings your enraged dinosaurs, and then makes the trigger on the enrage mechanic. So you don't have to swing into anything. You can do it on your opponent's end step. You can do it on your end step. You can do it in response to blockers. You can do all kinds of response to attacks. You can do it in all kinds of ways. So, like, this Polyraptor is really good. I like the enrage mechanic. I really enjoyed Commune with the Dinosaurs. That was a really good ramp card. I thought that card was really an excellent card, getting you the ability to search up lands or dinosaurs. When Attune with Aether was getting so much flack, I was running Commune with the Dinos. I was out communing with the dinos, so that's pretty cool. Gisha, Sun's Avatar, Altla, Palani, Nest Tender, and Zakama the Primal Calamity, the usual suspects. Pretty cool card. $17 for the Polyraptor. I like it. Pretty cool. Fiend Artisan. This is another card from Icaria Lair Behemoth. This card was hot for a minute. Let's read it again. I forgot about it. It's got a $39 printing from Ikoria Lair the Behemoth, or $11 is the cheapest one. I guess it got a pre-release event promo, but you know what card didn't? So Healy Ray and all the rest. A lot of promos out there. The one I would have wanted was the Great Henge, but nevertheless, the Fiend Artisan is 2 mana. It's a nightmare. It gets 1/1 for each creature card in your graveyard, so it gets big. It's a boy that grows, and you pay X and 1, either green or black, and tap it to sack a creature and search for a creature card with mana cost X or less and put it on the battlefield. Then shuffle your library. Activate this only a time you could cast a sorcery. So it eats something on the battlefield, grows itself, and then like searches up stuff and tutors it, and then like just flips it right onto the battlefield. Devoted combo. Ah, pretty cool. Another way to go get your devoted druid in modern. All right. Yes. So instead of getting like, yeah, you don't want to get the big beastie. You just want to get your combo pieces out with this thing. That makes total sense. Devoted Druid combo, Nethroi, Apex of Death in Commander, and then Elves in Legacy, 5-color Elves. I want to know who the commander is in 5-color Elves. Progenitus in the sideboard? I don't understand. Oh, Legacy. Ah, all right. Just a Progenitus. Why not? Fiend Artisan, pretty cool. You can ramp out the Progenitus, if I guess. You as an alternate win con, you're like, I'm gonna pay 10 mana into how much is Progenitus? It's a lot. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It's 10 mana. It's a double Wooburg. And if you're new to Magic and you don't know what a Wooburg is, it's a white, a blue, a black, blue Wooburg. A white, a blue, a black. It's one of each mana. A black, a red, and a green. A white, a blue, black, red, green. Double Wooburg. It's 10 mana. Fiend Artisan and Heroic Intervention. Another cool card. I gotta have to. Holy smokes. This is a good card from Aether Revolt. Now, like, here's a funny thing. Like, when Rudy bought all the. Like, let's go back. Like, if you saw the video from yesterday and anybody's still watching at this point, I love you. You know, Rudy said he was gonna buy all the Kaladesh inventions, but he ended up buying all the Kaladesh boxes. I wonder about Aether Revolt boxes, because this is a $20 card from Aether Revolt. The boxes are a little bit cheaper. I think they're just as good, but it's worth mentioning that the money artifacts are in the Kaladesh boxes, but like the counterpart Aether Revolt, you can still get some tasty inventions in there. And a $20 card like this is probably a good hit from Aether Revolt. It's instant speed. It's 1 green and 1. It's a $20 bill. Do we get some more prints on it? We did. A foil would be nice if you could open it, right? Foil Aether Revolt Heroic Intervention, $30. Pretty cool card. I might have to sift through the collection to see if I've got any extra copies I can go to the buy list, because I do want to pick up a Power Leech and an Earthcraft. Earthcraft for sure. Really good reserve list card that seems to keep going up. Decks using it? Oh yeah, Atraxa, right? Because you want to protect your Atraxas. So like Summer, Veil of Summer, Summer, Veil of Autumn, Heroic Intervention, Blossoming Defense. All these cards are great defense cards. It's got the Ajani on it. This is at the point where I started. It's like this love-hate relationship with Ajani. I'm like, he's too much of a hero, right? And then he ended up getting completed. So not surprised there. This is when before Johnny was completed. Thanks, Mr. GJ Long. Got to get some work done and knock out some chores before it crashed. That's awesome. I have a tough time doing my chores myself. Appreciate you, Mr. DJ Longhair. That's a good reminder. Do a little bit of upkeep. I cleaned out underneath the sink yesterday, so that was a good experiment. It's amazing the things you'll find. Brody, make your bed, vacuum, and do something around the house each and every day. I try to do it. Thanks for joining. Last card on the list here today, Crucible of Worlds. This card's seen more reprints than a tire's got tread. It's over and over again. Pre-release events, unique, miscellaneous. It's just, you can't get enough of this here. The Kaladesh Invention, ooh la la. $187 for this one. It's pretty nice. M19 version. What's the 5th Dawn? The cheapest Cheapest from the 5th Dawn? Nah, you can get it cheaper in M19 core set, but this is a card that's been played like there at a time. This is the thing. Let's pull the chart back on this. I really want to take a look because there was a period of time where like Crucible of Worlds was really the only way to get lands back from your graveyard, and then we got Amon-Ket and Ramanap Excavator. So this is a particularly powerful card when combined with Azusa or any of the other creatures that allow you to play multiple lands a turn, because you get to play these from your graveyard, so you can like loop cards that have sacrifice. Like if you have Academy Ruins and you want to get something back, you can sack it, play it from your graveyard, do it again. The most vicious combo with this and the Azusa multiple land drops is like the Strip Mine lock or the Ghost Quarter lock or the Field of Ruin lock, where you just blow up a land and you can pick on somebody, then everybody searches, but then you can just play another land from your graveyard. You bring out Strip Mine or Wasteland again and just start playing your multiple lands a turn. So you've got like Azusa, Explore, and then the Dryad of the Elysian Grove. And then you can even play like Courser of you can play lands off the top of your library. So any way to get extra lands into play, and especially lands that have really powerful abilities on them. Remember, we can't really much interact with lands. You can't counterspell them. So Crucible of Worlds is really good. Sees a lot of play. Omnath, Mono Green Tron plays it. Lord Windgrace. Ooh, I want to see which commander they have in the Lord Windgrace. Is it the Kitty Cats? I hope it is, because there's a cat commander. Lord Windgrace. Discard a card, then draw a card. If a land card is discarded, draw an additional card, and then you get to play it from your battle from the graveyard with Crucible of Worlds. Solid card, right? Solid. I'm liking it. Lord Windgrace, super good. You get to pitch lands, get value for them there. You're running the Azusa combo here. Yep. Saku Tribe Elder. Yep. Ramanap Excavator for that extra land from your graveyard mechanic. Yep. And I think we'll see more of that lands from graveyard. You know, even with the cycle lands, this becomes really good. Or the channel lands where you pitch them, right? It's even, you can't even interact with channeling. It's not casting a spell. So this card's really good. It's gonna have some long-term value. I'm glad to see it's like $20. It's, you know, seems reasonable. I have a copy. I don't need any. There's plenty on the vendor site. It's worth it. It's a kind of a staple that's worth picking up. It's fun to build with. You can go with it in a lot of different decks. You can play it with green and that recursion theme that I was talking about. You can also play it with black if you're doing a discard deck and you want to get those lands back. You can play it with wheel, any of the Niv Mizzet decks that are, you know, making players discard their hand and draw 7. It's great in those. So yeah, good card here. A pretty excellent magic card, if you ask me. I'm just gonna check check the stock desk, make sure I'm not missing out on any important news here, because I do like checking up on that each and every morning, folks. I'll check the poll here. If you guys like music on stream, let me know. Interested in finding just a little bit of more about the viewers who are tuning in. And I thank everybody who put in an extra comment on the last video I made. I love to hear from new viewers out there. I have no idea who you are unless you leave a comment. And for those of you folks watching on Rumble, leave me a comment over on Rumble. Say, Rumble, young man, Rumble. Do you like tracking the prices of magic cards? Is there enough information out there, or is there too much information? Let me know. I'm doing it. I can do it for you. I'm doing it every morning, each and every morning, Monday through Friday, with you folks, the fans, amazing fans who love the game as much as I do. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a great show. You know what that means? They've caught on to us. Tops are at the door. It's been a good one. Thanks to you folks smashing that stream button. Hit the notification bell so we can keep in touch. Stay safe. Stay well. Try and pick up. Try and do some chores around the house today. I'm gonna try and clean out under the sink downstairs. Thanks, Titan. Have yourself a good one, my friend. You know, I was at the store the other day. Mrs. Alfonso and I, we were at the grocery store, and on the way out the door, the manager was stocking some of the displays. And I went up to him, I said, I kissed one of the cashiers, but she didn't kiss me back. And he looked at me and said, you went through the self-checkout, didn't you? Spinning a slice. Thanks again, folks. Appreciate you, everybody who tuned in on the channel. Have yourself a good day, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. An excellent day to you, my good sir. Anybody who hasn't seen the GoFundMe in the comment section in the chat, please check it out.